Curses in Coldbrew by Mulford and Elle Morrison. This is the sequel to Pumpkin Spice and Poltergeist, but you could read it on its own. All of these are standalones. They're very cheesy, very fun, silly, paranormal romance novels about sometimes humans, but also sometimes supernatural creatures who all live in this Halloween town where their economy runs on tourism, where humans come and just think that, like, the mayor is Frankenstein, but like he's just the guy dressed up like Frankenstein. That's what they think, but no, he's literally Frankenstein. So it's just this fun little silly gimmick Halloween town. Everyone's fucking gay for the most part. It's really like cheesy and fun and a good time. And I think I liked this sequel even more than the first one. I think it kind of leans into the humor and the ridiculousness of it all. The first book was about a human and a witch falling in love. This book is about a witch and a demon falling in love. So these characters were in the first book. Our witch character, Iris, is best friends slash roommates slash business co-owners with the witch Jordan from the first book. And the demon, Ramona, makes an appearance in the first book because Iris makes a deal with her for information in the first book. These are like mystery romance novels. There's always a mystery going on here. And the demon helps them in the first book, and Iris makes a deal with her by kissing her. And she's like this hot, seductive demon. And so I knew that this was going to be the couple of the second book after reading the first book, and I was really pumped for that because these two had immediate chemistry. Like, there's immediate sexual tension and like this deal and the fact that it's sealed with a kiss, but like I was really, really waiting for this. I really liked this couple, and I liked them even more than the first couple. And I liked the first couple, but this was like sexier, I think. Even though there's not like a lot of smut in this or like sex scenes, they're sort of like horny for each other the whole time. They're both kind of players. They both slept with like every queer girl in this town, Maple Hollow. So there's just like that element of horniness where they want each other. But Iris is hesitant to go on a date with the demon. They actually made a deal where, like, Iris has to go on a date with her at some point. Like, that's part of their deal. So it's sort of like forced proximity, like, forced romance kind of thing. That's a good trope that, like, aids to the sexual tension. But they are, like, very attracted to each other. But Iris is like, no, like, the demons are evil, and, like, I shouldn't get involved with them, and they always make tricky deals. And it's bad enough that I did any deal with her whatsoever. Like, she just wants to steal my soul, you know, I can't trust her. She's this immortal evil creature. And then the demon's like, yeah, this hot redheaded witch. Yeah, I do want to go on a date with her. So it works. The chemistry really works here. I really like them. So the central mystery of this is Ramona collects souls. She's a demon. She does deals with people, and when she does a deal with someone, she marks them with her sigil, her unique sigil. That basically means that when they die, she gets to claim their soul and turn it into, I don't know if it's Lucifer, the devil, whatever. I think it is Lucifer. And she gets credit. That's like, oh, she's good at her job. She makes all these deals. Look at how many souls she has. And so she goes to collect a soul in the first chapter of this book, and the person's soul is already gone. Someone else stole it. She looks at him, and his sigil is gone. Her sigil that she put on him is gone. And she's like, how did someone destroy my sigil? Like, there's only so many creatures that have the power to do that, you know? It could be like a demon, it could be a vampire, or a really powerful witch, perhaps. So what's the mystery here? Who did this? There are clues that, like, point to maybe a witch did this, and so she has to talk to Iris and, like, bring her into this investigation, and Iris gets involved and, like, wants to help her solve the crime. The mystery here, I did know, like, who done it pretty early on, but I didn't have all of the context there. There were twists and turns I didn't expect, in a good way, because I don't know, it's kind of boring if you're right. I wasn't right about the first mystery right away, and so I was gonna be a little disappointed if this one was just way easier. But there's more to it than I thought. So the mystery's kind of fun. It's not like the greatest mystery of all time, but like, you don't really care about that. You're here for the romance. And the romance is cute. It's sexy. My major critique of this book is that they fall in love for no reason. You get their immediate sexual chemistry, and that's great. But like, it immediately goes from sexual chemistry to love for no reason other than this is a romance novel, and eventually they're going to have to fall in love. There's one good scene where they have to spend the night together because they're under under attack. There's danger afoot, and so their best bet of protection is to stay together, right? And so they spend a night like cooking for each other and carving pumpkins and like being really cute and just like talking and having a nice normal conversation. And you get that first inkling there that they really do have like a domestic future together. Like they could actually be a cute couple. But like they sort of come to that conclusion before this date. I don't know, they get like protective of each other. They want to look out for each other. They don't want to put the other in danger. But like they haven't earned that really. They're just like horny for each other. They don't know each other that well. So I wish the romance had come in after this moment where they spend the night together and realize like, oh, I do just want to cook dinner and carve pumpkins with you. But like whatever, it's cute, and they do end up as a good couple, and you do root for them. You are shipping them. I think the romance could have come in later because I think that sexual tension they have is like strong. Like that could have carried it even before they have emotional feelings involved here. Like I still would have been rooting for them to like get together and explore this and see where it goes. And I think it would have been like maybe just even better if they had thought this was just a sexual situation and, you know, they weren't really thinking about romance because one of them's immortal, one of them's not immortal. And so, like, why would they even think about romance, you know? Like, their kinds don't marry and fall in love with each other like that. So they end up, like, sleeping together or, like, flirting, and then after spending more time together, they're like, oh, wait, like, we could make this work also on a romantic level. Oh, that's interesting. And then they get really protective of each other. But, like, whatever. It's fine. It's a cheesy romance, so you're not, like, disappointed by all of the romance happening, you know what I mean? Like, you go into this kind of knowing that it's gonna be cheesy and weird and just fucking, you know they're gonna fall in love, so, like, what's the point of even delaying it, right? I think it would have been more realistic to delay it, but also we're dealing with, like, fucking demons, so, like, oh, the realism. Not enough realism in my fucking Halloween Town rom-com. And this is a comedy. This is very funny. I listened to this on audiobook, the first one I read, but I think this one I listened to on audiobook because my library only had the audiobook, I think. And I'm really glad I listened to this audiobook. Because the narrator who does Ramona the demon fucking commits to the bit. She does this sexy, overdramatic demon voice for the entire novel, and it's hilarious. Because no one else talks like this. There are other demons in this book, and they just talk like normal people. And so Ramona sounds absolutely ridiculous, but in the funniest way, and it actually really suits her character. Because she is this kind of cold, aloof, sort of edgy demon. She's like, I shall not fall in love, even though she clearly falls in love, and she clearly is really soft on the inside. But it's so fucking stupid, and I love it. And so every funny line said in this accent made it even funnier. I immediately knew I was going to love the humor in this book. Like, 2 minutes in, I don't know, there was a line about Gucci loafers, and I loved the way she was just talking about her Gucci loafers. I took some audio samples from this audiobook just to give you an idea of what this sounds like, and like some of the just like fucking stupid lines in this, that I loved the way this voice actress said those lines.
Your time on this plane is up. You're mine now. I moved closer, and something soft shifted under my Gucci loafer.
And I do think this audiobook was well produced. It has 2 narrators, and the chapters switch between Iris's and Ramona's points of view, and so it switches who is narrating each chapter, but the voice actor for the character does the dialogue of that character no matter the chapter. And not every audiobook does that. A lot of times you have just whatever narrator is narrating the chapter doing everyone's dialogue, but in this, Ramona does Ramona's dialogue even in Iris's chapter, and Iris does Iris's dialogue even in Ramona's chapters. And that like works really well. Like, this is a really well-produced audiobook. There's some dude who comes in to do all the dudes in the town, which there's only a couple of guys, but like 75% of the guys in this book are like the hottest dudes in the world, and it keeps mentioning how hot they are. I wrote down a couple lines that I thought were diabolical, but that you needed to hear because I had to hear them, and were just like funny and fucking stupid. Apparently, like, the pumpkin-headed dudes, you know, like the headless horseman guy, they run the pumpkin patch, believe it or not. Apparently, like, they're just the hottest fucking dudes in town. I don't know how, but they are. Ramona is talking to these characters. That's when we're getting introduced to them, and she's sort of describing them. And she's like, she says, even I thought about giving his gourd a ride once or twice, and I'm as straight as a zigzag. And then I had to think about, is his penis actually a gourd? His penis might be a gourd. I think that was a joke. But, like, is it a gourd? I don't know. What does it look like? I don't want to know. Or do I? Everyone else in town wants to know. And then the Frankenstein mayor, like, his nephew comes to live in the town and, like, work in the ice cream shop, and apparently he's the sexiest fucking dude in the world. There was kind of a dumb line that didn't make sense, where, like, it's Iris. Iris is talking about how hot he is and how all of the girls in the shop think he's the hottest fucking man in the world. And she starts comparing him to ice cream, and, like, the specific ice cream flavor that she's like, I bet he's like this ice cream. It looks disgusting, but it tastes delicious. And I'm like, but you just said he was hot. What do you mean looks disgusting? I mean, I know he looks disgusting because he's Frankenstein. But, like, you all think he's hot as hell. So, like, what are you talking about? Like, I get the joke. But, like, you can't say that he looks disgusting when you just called him hot. Okay. That was, like, a less well-executed version of the lesbians. I don't know if they're all lesbians. Maybe they're bi, whatever. The lesbians being horny for men, just for funsies. There was another kind of a critique little line like that. Like, my critiques for this book are incredibly minor because it's just a fun fucking time. I gave this 5 stars. I don't think it's really a 5-star book. It's like a 4 to 4.5 star kind of read, but, like, it's just so fun that I couldn't give this less than 5 stars. I had a blast. There's another line that didn't really make sense. I'll insert it. I have the audio clip.
Sometimes I forgot to walk at a human pace. Once a tourist had accused me of using some sort of moving carpet like in Twilight. Whatever the hell that meant.
Someone talks to Ramona, the immortal millennia-old demon, about Twilight, and she doesn't understand the reference. Which makes sense that this immortal demon wouldn't understand, like, these very contemporary us kind of references. But then, like, in the same chapter, she references The Lion King, and then she makes a Harry Potter joke later that's like 10 points to whatever, Captain Obvious. I think she says 10 points to Captain Obvious, which I'm pretty sure is a reference to, like, 10 points to Gryffindor. So, like, she's seen Harry Potter, but she hasn't seen Twilight. I don't know that I believe you, Ramona. And, like, okay, technically that's possible, but it felt like an author thing where, like, they just wanted to put in very contemporary jokes that we would understand, and then they just kind of didn't really care about the veracity of whether their demon would really know this, and they thought about it once, but then they didn't think about it again, because, like, who really fucking cares, right? It's funny. Those jokes are funny. You're having a good time reading them. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. Oh my god, there's another part. See, I would recommend this on audiobook. I don't know if the first book, like, the audiobook there is, like, exceptional like this. I think this is exceptional in ways that it didn't even intend to be sometimes, but I think this is really good. I think probably the first audiobook is good, but that book is just a witch and a human, and so, like, I don't think Ramona's voice actor does, like, the fucking weird voice. There's no, like, weird voice to really carry this audiobook to make me go, like, yeah, you have to read the audiobook over the text for the first one. This one, I might recommend the audiobook over the text. I haven't read the text. I would be interested in. I would reread this, okay? I was having such a fun time. I would like to own a physical copy of this. Or maybe not physical, maybe like a digital, like, ebook copy to read through again. And I don't know who the narrators were in the first book. We get their voices because those characters are in this. They're the side characters in this book. Harlow has, like, a dumb butch voice, which I liked and was exactly what I was picturing for her. That's fun. Jordan just sounds like a normal person. So I don't know what would have stood out in that audiobook, if anything does, but in this one, I thought Ramona's narrator. I don't know who did what. There's 2 narrators, and I don't know, like, who did what's perspective. But Ramona's narrator does an accent at the very end of this book. They go to this, I think it's an Italian restaurant, and it's staffed by nymphs who are, I believe they say, from ancient Rome, ancient Greece, that kind of thing. And the narrator does this accent. I just have to play the clip.
Here are your menus, but we also have a tasting prefix that everyone is raving about. Noreen waited for us to take our seats, then offered us 2 sheets. Here is the wine list. The pairings were chosen specifically for the chef's menu.
You really outdid yourselves.
It is so ridiculous. And this feels... I don't know what this is. Is this an Italian accent? Is this Greek? Is it supposed to be like ancient Greek? Is it ancient? It's not ancient Rome, because I studied Latin and it didn't sound like that. This feels mildly racist towards a country that doesn't exist, and it's low-key like fucking hilarious. Like, why did she commit so hard to that? And that would not be in the book at all, because this is a very minor scene. This incredibly minor side character of just the fucking waitress at the Italian restaurant, and like the physical words she's saying are just so mundane. It's like, oh, have you looked at the menu? Ramona's narrator did all of that for no reason, and that makes it fucking hilarious and unforgettable. And in the book, that absolutely would have been forgettable. Like, you would not remember the very minor side fact of like, oh, the ancient Greek nymphs run the Italian restaurant in town. Holy fuck, that killed me. So you really do get a sense that everyone working on this was having a fun time. Both of these authors were having a fun time, and both of these narrators were having a fun time. I wrote down another quote from the middle of the sex scene. I think in the first book, I only gave like one quote, but it was in the middle of the sex scene where Jordan says like, oh, sweet pumpkin pie, as like an exclamation of pleasure. Ridiculous. Here was another ridiculous sex scene line, if you guys are into that. Iris is looking in Ramona's nightstand and seeing objects. Can I say that? Objects, you know what I'm talking about. The purple one was small and thin, but deliciously curved. The next was thick, long, and ribbed, and like some sort of porno version of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. The third one looked just right. Why did you write that? Who is thinking of Goldilocks and the Three Bears in their dildo scene? And if you were wondering, that third one is just right. It's a fucking tentacle dildo. Why is it a tentacle dildo? Why not? That's fucking funny as hell. There is also a line in the very beginning of this where Iris is talking about how she's dated every queer woman in town of every species. And she's like, there's no lesbian mermaids. How are there no lesbian mermaids? And the line that I may or may not have played already about the crystal shop owner having a boyfriend.
I feel bad for her, honestly. She nearly killed her last boyfriend.
Boyfriend? She's a witch who works in a crystal shop, and she's straight.
Not that it's any of your business, but she's pansexual.
Interesting.
That's funny. This is very gay. Like, this whole town's gay. It's like, it's so fun and just sort of like wish fulfillment, queer fantasy. It's just a fucking blast. It's so stupid, and I say that so affectionately. It's just a fun time, and I will read the rest of the series. I know there's at least going to be a third book, which is, unfortunately, tragically, horribly about straight people, but I'm not surprised at all, because in the background, the entire time, we have Harlow's human sister Willow is in love with the next leader alpha of the werewolf pack, and they can't be together because he's gonna be the alpha and he can't marry a human, but they love each other, and so gosh darn it, I think they're gonna find a way to be together regardless. So I'm not surprised at all that that's the third book. I think I will read it just because, like, this is fun. These writers are fun, these authors are fun, they have this fun little town. I'm sure we'll see all of these queer side characters in that book, so it won't be like a straight fest. I'm not, like, that interested in that relationship, but, like, that sounds like a classic romance relationship with a human and a werewolf boy. I'm sure that'll get more readers, more eyes on this series, you know, like, the straights can have a book, and then they can come in and boost sales, and then this author will write more books in this series with more lesbians, hopefully. You can do a gay guy. I don't know. There's not, like, that many men. I don't know, like, what the gay guys would be. There's no gay guy set up. Further couples, there's another demon named Nephili, who's, like, Ramona's friend, and she has a thing with one of the werewolves. It's Wyatt's sister, the alpha boy, his sister. So I'd read a book about the demon and the werewolf. I'm not as compelled by that as I was about the prospect of Iris and Ramona here that we got inklings of in the first book. I think this will be my favorite couple out of all of them, just because, like, the instant sexual chemistry. Just, like, the horny nature of this weird, sexy demon. That just really worked for me, and I really like that dynamic. But I am absolutely down to read more books in the series. Straight people, gay guys. I know it'll have those lesbian side characters regardless, because there's 8 billion lesbians in this fucking Halloween town. It's so funny. I don't know if there's plans to do this beyond just a trilogy. Maybe they are only 3, because I think those are, like, the big 3 relationships that have been set up. But, like, you can do more. You can invent anything, right? Maybe one of the mermaids that comes out and is a lesbian. After all, there was a lesbian mermaid. And then we have Iris in the background being like, fuck, why'd you wait so long to come out? We could have hooked up all those years ago. Anything. You could do anything. All the monsters. I think this is just a fun, silly idea. Untapped potential. Endless potential. Just keep doing it. I like these authors. I love what they're doing here. They're just having a fun fucking time. And I'm having a fun fucking time. And I highly recommend it. And you can even read it out of season. I'm reading this in January. This is my first book of 2026. What a banger to start the year out on. These are really great Halloween books, but again, read them anytime. You don't have to wait till Halloween. Highly recommend. Big fun. Really feel good, easy to read, light breezy, supernatural romance. Give it a shot.